Hey everybody, Mark Agnesi here again in the back room at Norman's Rare Guitars. And welcome back to another episode of Guitar of the Day. See, after 6 quarters of playing like crap, Cavs got their heads out of their asses last night, turned it around. I was worried there for a little bit. They won by 13, it's all good. Tomorrow night, see if they can close that out. Golden State's going to be a tight series though. That one I'm not as confident about, but I know you guys are all worried about it out there. But yeah, Cavs pulled it off and that's all good. 3-1 in that series. Oh, let's see. We've been doing some Weird Ass Wednesdays. We've been doing the ES Wednesdays. I know you guys like the Weird Ass Wednesdays. I got such a rad ES guitar though that rad ES guitars will always trump the weird ass stuff. So for this week's Wednesday selection, why don't you come back and see what we have. This is from 1967. This is an original Gibson ES-355 Factory Mono in original Sunburst finish.
Oh, yes.
So I said a lot of stuff in there, and I don't know how hip some of you guys are. I know a lot of you guys think you know guitars. The hippest catchphrase I threw in there was Factory Mono. What the hell does that mean? Aren't they all mono? No, they're not. That's what makes this so cool. So, in the ES model guitars like this, in this body, style, this is the ES-330. It's totally hollow with the P90s. That's like the Casino, Gibson's version of the Casino. The 335, we all know the 335, rosewood board, laminated top, all that kind of stuff. The 345s and the 355s is when we start getting into these stereo guitars. These are stereo guitars usually. You will normally see that extra little tone there called the Veritone circuit, which will go through all those different little notch filters. We've seen that on a lot of guitars. You know, the big joke about that, you know, position 1 sounds like the guitar, position 2 sounds like B.B. King, and the rest of the positions sound like shit. However, they're stereo. Lots of people don't know this. Gibson does reissues of those guitars now with Veritones that are mono. People don't realize this is, in the 60s, stereo was all the rage. They made stereo amps to go with these. So what that would mean is you need a stereo end on that cable, or what we call a tip ring sleeve cable, as opposed to a mono cable. That will normally split out to a Y cable, which will get plugged into 2 different amplifiers. Bridge pickup and neck pickup will each get set to different amps. When you're in the middle position, you get the full stereo image. You can run one side wet with effects, one side dry. You could put reverb on one side, delay on one side. You could do all sorts of things with that. What's the problem with that? Well, nowadays, man, I hear all you kids talking. You guys don't even want to bring amps to stuff anymore. What, I gotta buy 2 Kempers to plug this thing into? 2 Axe effects? Oh God. Remember when people used to bring like 25 Marshall cabinets to gigs that were just fakes because they look cool? These kids just want everything to fit into a gig bag and just, you know, one plug. You guys are lazy. I know I'm a dinosaur. Yeah, I'm a dinosaur. I like amplifiers, you know, that you have to cart around that are heavy. Oh, it's a pain in the ass. So, this being factory mono means we took all of that stereo stuff out of there. The Veritone is gone, all that circuitry is gone. You plug a regular old mono cable in there, stick it into an amp, turn it up, it sounds real good. Famous mono players, of course. Keith Richards has a 59 in black. That was the one ES guitar you probably will see him with the most. So that's a 59 factory mono. The factory monos are far rarer and way cooler. Let's talk other rare stuff. When was the last time you saw one in Sunburst? Normally you'll always see these in red, especially this kind of, more of that like iced tea kind of Sunburst, which is cool. Couple of small issues with the guitar, not uncommon. This is a repro pickguard. The original pickguard bit the dust in the case. A lot of guitars from this era, you leave them in a case for a long period of time, like a gas comes off of these things and they start to eat away at themselves and they rot away. So it's got a newer guard. It's a really clean guitar. But I'm willing to bet that these pickup covers have probably been replated, because those are really shiny and gold. Normally that's the first thing to get sweat on them, and the thing that tarnishes the first, the first and the most. But the tailpiece, you know, you'll see a little bit of tarnish on it here. ABR1's got a lot of tarnish on it. I'm going to go ahead and assume that those have been replated. Other than that, guitar is straight, original frets, original tuners, everything else. This is 1 9/16 at the nut. It is the narrower nut that they did at that era. If you want the wide nut, you kind of got to go 64 and before. And a pair of the patent number Gibson humbucking pickups. Really clean guitar, really cool, really rare. I don't know if you realize just how rare the factory monos are, but they're highly desirable. and I highly desire to go out there and plug this in and see what it can do. All right, we're out front. We have the 1967 Gibson ES-355TD Factory Mono. Original Sunburst finish. Going through 410 Hot Rod DeVille today. All EQs at noon, just a little bit of reverb. Let's start up on that neck pat number pickup, throw a little bit of drive on it. Let's see what that thing can do here. Moving on into the middle position, let's clean up the amp. We got a combination of those two pickups together here. Lastly, let's go down to that bridge, throw some drive back on it. Let's see how this thing sounds when we're wide open here. Yes, there you go, from 1967. Original Gibson ES-355TD Factory Mono. No Veritone, just a regular mono cable, 2 patent number pickups, gold-plated Maestro factory wiggle stick. This one's got a repro guard on it, and some of the gold's been replated, but it's otherwise in excellent overall condition. Very, very cool guitar for your Wednesday. Hey, check me out on Instagram at @MarkAgnesi. Follow the store at Norman's Rare Guitars, and check this and the rest of these guitars out online at normansrareguitars.com. We'll see you guys tomorrow for another episode of Guitar of the Day. Peace.